I never used to check my voicemail. Who does anymore? It's all spam and robocalls and your mom asking if you're coming for dinner. But 3 weeks ago, I started getting notifications from my own number. Not a similar number. Not a spoofed number that looked close. My number. The exact one. The one that's been in my pocket for 7 years. The first voicemail came at 3:14 in the morning. I was asleep. When I woke up and saw the little red icon, I assumed it was a glitch. Maybe the carrier had crossed some wires. I pressed play. The recording was 4 seconds long. At first, I heard nothing. Then a breath. Not a normal breath. It was wet, shaky, like someone who had been crying for a long time and was trying to hide it. Then my own voice said, "It's starting." The line went dead. I stared at my phone. The number was mine. The voice was mine. But I didn't remember calling myself. I didn't remember leaving a voicemail. I checked my call log. No outgoing calls to my own number. No incoming calls from it either. Just the voicemail, as if it had materialized out of nothing. I told myself it was a prank, someone with a voice changer and too much time. I deleted the message and went to work. The second voicemail came the next night. Same time, 3:14 a.m., same number, my number. This time, the recording was 9 seconds long. My voice again, but different. Tired, scared, speaking in a rushed whisper, like someone was listening from the next room. You have to stop answering the phone after midnight. If it rings, don't pick up. They're using the calls to find us. They're getting closer. Then a sound, a door slamming, a scream, my scream cut off mid-cry. Then silence. I deleted that one too, but I didn't sleep. I lay awake, staring at my phone, waiting for it to ring. It didn't. At 3:14 a.m. exactly, a third voicemail arrived. I hadn't answered any calls. I hadn't even touched my phone. But the message was there, 30 seconds. My voice, barely audible, like I was whispering into the phone from inside a closet. They're here. I can see them from under the door. There are 3 of them. They have my face. They have your face. They're going to, a crackling sound, then a click, then nothing. I called the phone company the next morning. They ran diagnostics. No errors, no glitches. The messages were originating from my own device, according to their logs. But they couldn't explain how or why. The customer service rep suggested I factory reset my phone. I did. I wiped everything. I started fresh. No backup, no cloud sync, a clean slate. That night at 3:14 a.m., my phone vibrated with a new voicemail. I hadn't even given the number to anyone yet. No apps installed, no contacts, just a bare phone with a dial tone. The message was 2 minutes long. This time my voice sounded calm, too calm. The voice of someone who had accepted something terrible. I'm going to tell you what's happening. I don't have much time. The calls, they're not coming from another phone. They're coming from another timeline, another version of our life. You're listening to yourself. From the future, from a world where you made different choices. Small things, taking a different route home, answering a call at 2 a.m., staying late at work. Each choice splits the road, and some roads lead here. There was a pause. I heard breathing. Then my voice continued. In my timeline, you answered the phone on a Tuesday night. It was an unknown number. A woman asked for you by name. You said, "This is she," and that was it. That was all it took. 3 words. After that, they started coming. Not ghosts, not demons of you, from other timelines. The ones who made worse choices. The ones who were lonely. The ones who let themselves be found. I was gripping the phone so hard my fingers ached. The message kept going. There are hundreds of them now. They live in the mirrors, in the static on the TV, in the space between blinks. They want what you have. A life that isn't broken. A body that isn't hollow. And they know how to take it. They just need you to let them in, to say yes, to say this is she or this is he or I'm listening. Any acknowledgement, any response, that's the door. My voice dropped to a whisper. You've already started. By listening to these messages, by acknowledging that I exist, you opened the door a crack. That's how they found me. That's how they'll find you. The message ended. I sat in the dark, my heart slamming against my ribs. I wanted to delete it. I wanted to throw my phone across the room, but I couldn't move, because I had just noticed something. In the reflection of my phone's black screen, I saw my own face. but my mouth wasn't moving, and I was hearing my own voice speak one more word, not from the phone, but from somewhere behind me. Too late, I spun around. No one was there, but my bedroom mirror, the one on the wall across from my bed, was fogged, like someone had breathed on it, and in the fog someone had written a word. Yes, I didn't write it. I hadn't breathed on the mirror. I hadn't even looked at it. But the word was there, clear and deliberate, and as I watched, it changed. The letters rearranged themselves like snakes slithering across glass until they formed a new word. My name. I slept in the living room that night, and every night since. I covered every mirror in the apartment with sheets. I unplugged the TV. I turned off my phone and put it in a drawer. For 3 days, there were no calls, no voicemails, no whispers. On the 4th day, I made a mistake. I needed to call my mother. I turned on my phone. There were 12 new voicemails, all from my own number, all from 3:14 a.m. I didn't listen to them. I deleted them without playing, but the voicemail notification wouldn't go away. It stayed on my screen, a little red icon that seemed to pulse like a heartbeat. That night, I woke up at 3:14 a.m. I hadn't set an alarm. I just opened my eyes, and the clock on my stove said 3:14. My phone was in the drawer, powered off, but I heard a sound, a soft, rhythmic tapping, coming from the bathroom. From behind the sheet I'd hung over the mirror, I didn't move. I lay there frozen as the tapping continued. Tap, tap, tap. 3 beats. A pause. 3 beats. Like a knock. Like someone asking for permission. Then the sheet fell. Just fell. No wind. No draft. It dropped to the floor, and the mirror was bare, and in the mirror I saw myself. But I wasn't lying in bed. I was standing in the bathroom. My reflection was standing. It was wearing a white shirt I'd never owned, with a dark stain on the collar, and it was smiling. I sat up. The reflection sat up too. I raised my hand. The reflection raised its hand. I waved. It waved. Everything normal. Everything the same. But its smile didn't go away. It stayed frozen, even when my own face was a mask of terror. I walked to the bathroom. The reflection walked too. We moved in perfect sync. I stopped in front of the mirror. The reflection stopped. I leaned close. The reflection leaned close. Our noses almost touched the glass. Its smile widened, and it spoke, not with sound, with vibration. I felt the words in my teeth, in my skull, in my spine. You're the version that said yes. You just don't remember. You answered the call 3 years ago. A Tuesday night. An unknown number. A woman asked for you by name. You said, "This is she," and they've been here ever since. Living in your mirrors, whispering in your dreams, waiting for you to look them in the eye. I tried to step back. I couldn't. My feet were rooted to the tile. The reflection reached out and pressed its palm against the glass from the other side. The glass rippled, like water, like it wasn't glass at all. "We're not going to hurt you," it said. "We're going to replace you, one piece at a time. First your reflection, then your dreams, then your memories, then your voice, then your face. And one day, you'll look in the mirror and you won't see yourself anymore. You'll see us, all of us, the ones you abandoned, the ones you ignored, the ones you hung up on." The reflection's hand pushed through the glass. It came out into my bathroom, wet and shimmering, fingers too long, joints bending in the wrong directions. It reached for my face. I grabbed a towel and threw it over the mirror. The hand retreated. The glass went still. I ran out of the bathroom and didn't go back in until morning. The next day, I smashed the mirror. I took a hammer to it and broke it into 100 pieces. I swept them into a trash bag and drove the bag to a landfill 50 miles away. I thought that would fix it. I thought that breaking the mirror would break whatever was looking through it. But there are other mirrors. The bathroom at work, the rear view in my car, the window of the coffee shop at night. Every reflective surface is a door, and they know how to open doors. Yesterday, I was stopped at a red light. I glanced at my rearview mirror. My reflection was in the back seat, not in the mirror. In the back seat of my actual car, reflected in the mirror. It was wearing the same white shirt with the dark stain. It was smiling, and it was holding a pair of scissors. I turned around. The back seat was empty. I looked back at the mirror. The reflection was still there. It raised the scissors and pointed them at me. Then it made a cutting motion across its own throat. My throat burned. I touched my neck. There was no cut, no blood. But when I pulled my hand away, my fingers were wet, not with water, with something cold and thick. The light turned green. I drove home without looking at any mirrors. I ran inside and locked the doors. I'm sitting in my living room now. All the mirrors are covered. All the windows are curtained. My phone is off, in a drawer, wrapped in aluminum foil, but I can still hear them. The other versions of me, the ones who said yes, they're not in the mirrors anymore. They're in the walls, they're in the floor, they're in the static silence between my heartbeats, and they're whispering the same thing, over and over. We're not asking anymore, we're taking. Tonight, I looked at the sheet covering my hallway mirror. It was moving, slowly, like someone was breathing on the other side. A hand pressed against the fabric from behind 5 fingers. Too long, too pale. It pushed the sheet aside just enough for me to see one eye, my eye. But the pupil was wrong. It was a spiral. Tiny and infinite, pulling me in. I blinked.